Our first guest is an artist, entrepreneur, and teaching artist. Her work takes one on a visual journey embodying community, history, and culture using burlap, canvas, torn paper, and mixed mediums. And today she joins us to discuss her latest exhibition, Color Filled Messages, a Black history journey it's going to be taking place at Latinx and Puerto Rican Cultural Center Heritage Gallery. And everyone, please welcome artist, entrepreneur. I keep stumbling on the entrepreneur and teaching artist, Aleathia Brown. Hello and
Greetings.
welcome.
Thank you for having me in person. This is exciting.
You know, I can't even believe it's taken this long to have you on. You have done and continue to do such incredible work
Thank you.
that is so purposeful. So I would like to start by wishing you a happy Black History Month, sister.
Thank you very much to us all, because we
Yes.
have those roots.
Yeah, no, I'm Afro-Latina.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
That's
no
why I'm
question.
wishing you. And that's
Yes.
why I address you as my sister.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Because again, I'm like calling in the unity.
Exactly. Conjuring it up, the spirits, yes. From the colors and the textures you have on is showing that. So to be continued on this journey, we all are.
I love that we already went right into the colors.
Yes,
Because
yes.
that is your primary theme on everything you put your
Yes,
hands on.
I tell story with color.
Yeah, and it's not just in the work, it's in the design of how you facilitate, because I've attended some of your events.
Yes,
As a matter of fact,
yes.
that's how we met. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, how many years ago was
I
that?
know. Your daughter wasn't in, I don't even think she was double digits yet.
No, she wasn't double digits, and you hosted this amazing color event.
Yes.
And I know you're going to be doing another one later in February, which we will get to. But let's talk to everyone about how you design so purposefully.
For me, everything is about purpose because I'm on an assignment by the Creator. So for me, purpose always gives more extension and intensity to a story because now it gives more meaning and more direction too. So the power in purpose has all these other little notes like in music, and it just adds an essence to it that keeps people's attention and it draws you in because we all have a story. And everyone's story is interconnected. If you talk long enough, we'll find all these overlaps. And so for me, I use color to do that because that's what inspired me and lured me into the art at the age 3. So it's been a life journey playing with color, and I'm on a play date. And I purposely say it that way because we thrive so much stronger when we play than when we always take everything as a serious note, only on the business end. And life is about balance. So for me, playing is a balance.
That's beautiful. I'm very playful myself.
That's why you're still here. That energy is healing.
Yes, you know, I'm going to remain childlike for life. That's it.
And that's your assignment, though.
That, you know, and heal people in the process, right?
Yes.
As I continuously work on my own self-healing, because that's the journey.
That's it.
That's the reality. And I love that you use colors. That's a big thing for me too, because it references so many different things,
Yes.
right? It could be used metaphorically, but I mean, you use it literally. So I'm just curious to know, so what is it about the word color that really resonates with you?
So for me, color is science, it's math, it's spirituality, it's dance, it's movement. And just like in music, it's a match for music because it's a mathematical equation moving at the sound and light speed. So for me, it transmits and translates to an energy. When we look at a garden, when we look at nature, we're absorbing and ingesting color no different than eating food on our plate. And food is color-coded. So everything we are predisposed around in a healing sense is connected to colors. Food will tell you what color you need to eat for healing, and colors will also connect to you relaxing and taking the pressure of life off. So for me, how can't it be connected to everything? And if we weave it, you don't have to be an artist to connect to color. You wear it every day. You eat it every day. So I live it.
You see, and that's mindfulness at its finest, right? And I love having these conversations because I think we need to heighten that, particularly during this current climate.
Yes.
I think it's so important that we really dive into what is naturally given to us.
Exactly.
Right? And so
Exactly.
you just described like things and elements and part of our everyday existence that we could very easily just disregard.
Right.
Whether it's unintentional or not, it's
Right.
just a matter of being mindful and recognizing the true value of it.
Yes.
Not just in, let's say, ingesting the food, but observing the color, absorbing the color and seeing how the color makes you feel.
Yes.
Right? So now I'm going to get all philosophical, but I just love that you incorporate it into everything you do,
Yes.
in addition to also providing history lessons.
Yes.
So let's talk about that part of it.
Yes. So there is a history on the journey, because if you even think in terms of the color coding in the Underground Railroad, so colors are messages. They tell us to escape. They tell us to flee to freedom. They tell us to pay attention to the sun or the moon. And colors have always been a message and also a journey. So they take us in different places. Adinkra symbols also have a powerful energy and a positive energy, but they're also mathematical equations, just like color is. So there's all kinds of things. Even when you look at a computer, when you change screens from one thing to another, those are mathematical equations they got from Adinkra symbols. And so symbols are colors, and symbols are math and science. For me, I'm always connecting how all these things matter, and the most mundane thing that we think so trivial of has more power to it if we really think about how it operates. So for me, there's so many things I can educate people on to make a bigger connection and a finer, relationship with, because we take it lightly, but it actually is healing. Just because when we look at a garden or nature, if you just sit still in a quiet space, you begin to relax your mind and you flush your organs. And when you play with color or you paint with a brush, which is often what I'm doing, that is cathartic, because the soft hairs on a brush on a firm surface actually help heal and flush the system from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet. I have witnessed people have their blood pressure shift just doing color sessions with me.
Right. Well, I've experienced your sessions, and that's why I could just sit here and listen to you all day, because you hold space. You're not just there instructing and or moderating an occasion. You're actually intentional about every single aspect of what each individual is experiencing, because everybody's going to be at different levels.
Yes.
Now, I know you're going to be having another event at the Bronx Library.
Yes.
Similar to that, but
Yes.
it's also
It'll
based
be
on
some
Black History
differences.
Month and
Yes.
using exactly what you just discussed. But
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit about this painting first before we talk about that
Yes.
activity.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You mentioned something before getting on air, how you, I guess, had or facilitated a sip and paint event, and then somehow it seeped into your own
Yes.
designs.
Yes, definitely.
So talk to me a little bit about this and how it, I guess, evolved into your own personalized experience.
So I had been doing a series of paint and sips at the Children's Art Carnival in Harlem. My heritage is Harlem. And so the piece is called Black Medallion Rice. And she is framed basically with Carolina rice, because my father is from the Carolinas. And I put elements on this as my finishing touches, but initially it was my sample project for the participants. I had adults and seniors, and I had them, each of them, and I had both male and female templates for the face, and then I had them change things.
Okay, so when you say sample, it didn't have all these details in it?
None of
Right,
them.
so I just
None
want to
of
be
them.
clear so they
Yes.
understand what that means. You just had like a draft that
Right.
they could follow.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then you expanded on it.
So I totally expanded, because there was no hair on any of the figures' faces. I had each participant put whatever kind of hair or texture they wanted to frame the crown.
Right.
For me, that is also your own identity.
Right.
So for this piece, I had elements that I didn't complete on purpose so that I can do the process in front of them and they can see how it builds and grows.
So the framing of the rice that you design, it could mean various things.
Yes.
And I don't know if they are able to see that there's nails on the bottom.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that this it symbolizes something. I mean, the outer part of it references for me water.
Yes.
Like so.
Yes, you
and
got
then,
it.
And then you've got red in there, which kind of loans itself to the struggle.
You got it. See, I did my job. If I don't have to give you the instructions of what's in my head, but I'm conveying it. And that's the beauty about art, is it conveys so many messages beyond words. You don't have to spell out to a person because they're going to ingest and interpret from your own experiences. But when we have a common place in the middle of that, we can convey those same messages and then add to that. So you've got the elements of the blood is passion. It is also the journey, and we have a vitality of life, and we have to have blood pumping through our veins in order for us to live and thrive. So all those messages, the copper is also energy and healing. We have copper in our bodies.
Right.
So everything there has a purpose and a meaning. Color in the sky and water is blue. We ingest it all day long, just even in raindrops or just other vapors. So for me, there's also a figure of a male's face. And I wanted people to pick other things
I gotta
up the
sit here with
I know, see?
I'm
It
like,
is my job to make you sit and spend time and see things that you didn't see and imagine things that go beyond the obvious. So the obvious is her face, but he supports her from the back end.
That's a whole session for another
Exactly.
another segment.
That's it.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I don't know if the cameras even do it justice because to experience it in person, it's there's a lot of layers.
Yes.
And so instinctively I want to touch, right? And I know
That's
you're
the
not supposed
lure,
to
though.
touch it.
That's
Yes.
again the power of energy is it pulls you in, and that's again me doing my job is bringing that forward. So I literally finished it this week, so I can present it at the exhibit as one of the pieces. So here is where it debuts now for everyone to
We
see.
debuted it here on Open.
Yes.
All right, so this is one of how many pieces that are going to be on display?
13 pieces
And
will
it's
be
a
on
solo
display.
show?
It's a solo exhibit.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So we start the year in that new beginning.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's the entrepreneur part of you. I mean, it must take something for you to just keep sustaining and using your art as the driver.
Yeah, it's a life journey. I just celebrated the 5th anniversary of my art wedding that I did in 2020. So January 25th was that journey. And it's me taking a vow for the creator sending me on the assignment to create. So for me, that was a spiritual journey. And it's not in the sense of a traditional wedding, but it's really about taking a vow and a promise to God that I stay on this journey and be consistent. So 36 years professionally, 58 as an artist.
And I want to congratulate you, and I want our viewers to know that in addition to that, you are in the archival department at the National Museum of Women in the Arts since 1995.
Yes,
So
yes.
we are
Thank
so
you.
grateful that you brought it here to us.
Thank you for having
And I
me.
congratulate you on your
appreciate
commitment
you.
to us and to yourself.
Thank you, and I appreciate the journey you have been on. Tremendous work that you're showing up every day. That's a power too. So we transmit that energy, and that's again about the power of women, our resilience, our energy is always up.
Yeah, it's beautiful when we can
Yes.
reflect like that.
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you, sister.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we're having a love fest over here. I hope y'all felt that because
Yes.
it is real.
Yes.
And once again, that's Aleathia Brown, artist, entrepreneur, and teaching artist. And we were discussing her latest exhibition, Color-Filled Messages, a Black History Journey that is happening now through February 28th with an opening ceremony happening tonight from 5 to 6 p.m. at the Bronx Library Center, located at 310 East Kingsbridge on the 4th floor. And then later in the month, Aleathia will be hosting a play date, love that word, with colors and symbols. And it's a workshop, and that's taking place on Friday, February 21st, between 6 and 7:30 p.m. And that is also taking place at the Bronx Library Center. And all of this is free. And for more information, you can visit aleathiasart.us. And stay tuned. There's more open when we return. All right.
Thank you. This was incredible. This was incredible.